In the super high-stakes world of modern banking, success isn't really about vaults overflowing with cash. Nope. It actually hinges on something way more critical, something that's often completely overlooked: the quality of a bank's information system. So, what's the secret formula that separates the financial giants from everybody else? Well, let's find out.
So let me start by asking you a question. When you think of a huge global bank, what do you think its most valuable asset is? I mean, is it the gold in its reserves? The giant skyscrapers it owns? Just take a second and think about it.
The answer, well, it might actually surprise you. It's not the money, it's the information. See, in today's financial world, having accurate, totally reliable, and lightning-fast information, that is the real currency. It's what separates the winners from the losers, plain and simple.
And that brings us to you could say, a billion-dollar question. It's a question that a 2023 study on Jordanian banks really set out to solve. What exactly makes a bank's information system truly effective? What are the secret ingredients? So the researchers, they focused on something called the Accounting Information System, or AIS for short. You can think of this as the digital heart of the bank. It's the system that stores, processes, and pulls up all the financial data needed to make those massive, critical decisions. Their whole investigation really boiled it down to three key parts, and this is going to be our roadmap for this explainer. First, the technology itself. Second, the data it holds. And third, the people who actually use it. So, let's break each one down. All right, first up, let's talk about the tech. This is the engine of the whole system, right? We're talking about the physical computers, the servers, and all the software that makes them run. It's the foundation that literally everything else is built on top of. And this quote right here, it just gets right to the heart of it. The tech's whole job is to process these enormous amounts of data with both incredible speed and perfect accuracy. Because in banking, a delay of just a few seconds or one tiny little error, well, that can have absolutely massive consequences. And this means the tech can't just sit there. It has to be updated all the time. Using outdated tools doesn't just slow things down, it can actually produce bad data. And that directly messes with financial reports and, of course, the huge decisions that are based on them. It's kind of like the digital plumbing that connects every single part of the bank. Okay, let's move on to our second key, the data. If the tech is the engine, then the databases, well, they're like the bank's gigantic, super secure digital library. It holds every transaction, every customer record, every single piece of information you can imagine. But, just having a library isn't enough if it's a total mess. You've got to be able to find the exact piece of information you're looking for in an instant. The database has to be big enough, all the parts have to be interconnected, and maybe, most importantly, it has to be incredibly secure. So yeah, here are the absolute non-negotiables for a bank's database. It has to be able to scale up as the bank gets bigger. The data has to be logically linked so you get the full picture. It needs fortress-level security. And finally, it has to be easy for the right people, the authorized users, to get in and use it. And that brings us to our third, and you could argue the most important ingredient of all, the people. I mean, you can have the best library in the entire world, but it's totally useless without an expert librarian who knows how to find the right information and knows what to do with it. And the research on this point, it's crystal clear. This quote here directly links a lack of skill and experience among users to poor quality financial reports, and from there, to bad financial decisions. The human element is just a massive variable in this whole equation. So the really crucial point here is that even the most advanced, most expensive system in the world is only as good as the people who are operating it. If they don't have the expertise to get around, find what they need, and interpret it the right way, then the system's incredible potential is pretty much wasted. So the researchers had their three key ingredients: the tech, the data, and the people. They put their importance to the test. So, what was the verdict? Well, the results were completely unambiguous. All three of their hypotheses were supported. Turns out the quality of the hardware and software, it mattered. The structure of the databases, absolutely critical. And the skill of the users, totally essential. Every single one played a significant positive role. But here's the real headline number, 71.7%. What does that even mean? Well, the study's R-scored value was 0.717, but let's put that in simple terms. It means that these three factors alone, the tech, the data, and the people, they explain over 71% of how well an accounting system performs. That is a massive finding. And so the verdict is in. For any modern bank, Having the right tech, well-structured data, and skilled people isn't just a nice to have. It's not just important, it is the fundamental formula for success. And this leaves us with one final, forward-looking question. We all know that technology is constantly, rapidly changing, but this study is such a powerful reminder of that human element. So the real challenge isn't just about buying the next shiny piece of software. It's about how we make sure our people's skills are continuously evolving right alongside it. And just one final note, the research we've been talking about is totally open access, published under a Creative Commons license. It's a really great example of how important knowledge like this can be shared freely, helping all of us understand the world just a little bit better.